And yeah, I think Shen is one of the more important bans against Liquid. You mentioned it a second ago. I know I talked about it with my captain Irene yesterday as well. I think Shen is just a really big deal for Liquid as a squad.
Yeah.
It does a lot of things for them.
Definitely does. Vladimir, something I was talking a little bit earlier with Pastries, actually has a terrible win rate this patch. In competitive play, it's under 40% win rate, but it is still very highly prioritized as far as picks and bans go. Has not been having nearly the same success as it did in the previous patch, where it was up around 77% win rate.
Right.
So a pretty big difference there.
Specifically, Phoenix has been actually smashing on the champ. But you're right, like it's funny because we play so many more games in North America. I saw Karma, for example, is over 100 plays in NA this split.
Yeah.
And it's like 53 and 50. It's like, you guys are first picking this champion, and she's +3.
Yeah.
With 100 game sample size, it's actually pretty reasonable.
It is, and sometimes you have to take it a little bit in consideration, like what teams are picking it, right? If it's a team that's at the bottom of the table picking it all the time, they can add to that. Baraya is going to be the last ban, and Lorlo. Will it be Azir? Yeah, so Azir gets locked in. That's definitely a Phoenix special. He's been known for this for so long now.
And you can see the ban rate very high, and Azir kind of deflating the pick rate, but look at win rate, 60% for that champion. There is the Karma picked up, as well as the Rex side. Those teams seem to be the standard S tier picks in those roles, but of course you can still answer the Azir later with a Victor or a Cassiopeia or something. And I don't think TSM are actually too sad about getting a first pick mid laner taken away.
Not at all. I mean, they lose a first round mid laner, but they gain basically the best support and the best jungler right now in most of these teams' minds. So they're definitely going to have a good start to their draft, and the question is, what can TL get back? Dardoch going to be locking in the Gragas, which has really been having a lot of success and is kind of rising in priority, it feels like, to kind of that second place spot, above the Elise, above the Nidalee, at least in North America. Jhin, the next selection here, not really a big surprise, as Fabi has been fantastic on those sniper type champions, the Ashe, the Jhin, the long range engage ultimates. I
actually got to talk to Fabi briefly about that choice of champion and you know, playing those kind of guys all the time. Yeah, real quick, LeBlanc in the mid lane for Bjergsen. There's the counter pick they're going for. Let him pick the Azir. Try to play a counter matchup and blow him up. Bjergsen, if he's good enough, can do it. But yeah, getting back to the point about Fabi and playing Jhin every game, I don't think this is really selling any strategies away, because every team you're picking these champions. It's like, so, you know, how are you going to feel when the meta switches back to playing more hard carry 80 carries? Like, that's great. It's what I want to be playing. Like, this guy was known as a big Draven main, but he's like, Sivir and Jhin is the best right now. So I'm just going to play them.
And playing for the team is working out incredibly well for him. Liquid has a lot of success with this guy. And Double Lift and Biofrost locking in a very powerful duo lane here. Double Lift loves the Lucian.
Yes.
And Lucian, when paired with Karma, is very scary to deal with, especially for a champion like Jhin, who does not have nearly as powerful dueling potential as someone like that.
Yeah, he can definitely get run over, so things to watch out for here. Last picks come through for Liquid. It'll be the blind pick top lane Trundle, with a Nami support coming through to try to answer that pretty scary Lucian down there. Of course, Karma will be going bot lane as well, so we know that duo. And now TSM get their counter pick top laner. CLG's idea was to play Gnar into it. The champion is available. TSM could easily play that themselves, or play the Bruiser War if this Aurelia goes through.
Yeah, I would not be surprised to see Aurelia. It's something that Haunter has been playing a ton. I like Lorlo on the Trundle. He's been doing work on that champion for so long. Since back, before any of the nerfs, it was extremely powerful, was always playing it then, still having a lot of success on it these days too. And it will be that last pick for TSM. A lot of options here, as you said. It could be something like Gnar. Aurelia would make a lot of sense too. You can go more aggressive split push type options, like some of the others, but it's going to be Aurelia getting locked in here. So TSM rounding out their draft, and gotta say I like it.
Yeah, you look at what they got here, and it's very individualist. You're seeing not a lot of obvious team fighters here when you compare what things like Azir and Gragas do. So they're doubling down on the strategy. They know the 5-on-5 is not going to be great. You don't want to bring Gnar into a game where you've already got LeBlanc versus Azir. Like, that's just such a difference in style. So Rek'Sai, the cream of the crop for junglers, and here's two individual matchups you're trying to snowball and have completely smash. In fact, every single lane for TSM in some way should have priority.
That's what I was going to say. You pick winning lanes. They're a fantastic team. We even had Liquid talking about it. Well, maybe they're not better mechanically, but they work so well synergistically. And when you have a team that's firing all cylinders, working really well together in the early game, they can carve out these advantages for themselves in already winning lanes. If they're able to do so, it'll look good. But for TL, if they can go late, Azir is always going to be very powerful, and they want to set the pace and really kind of slow things down.
All right, we'll see if Liquid can do that. We do have a remake of picks and bans real quick. Liquid's going to have to dodge, so we will get ourselves into the game soon enough, but the coaches have shaken hands, and the match will begin shortly. Give us a couple of minutes, we'll get there. But yeah, right now, a huge difference in styles across these two teams. TSM, again, priority in all their lanes, very advantageous matchups, and trying to take out the early game over Liquid, which actually has been Liquid's strength so far as a team. They say, mechanically we're very good, in lane we're very strong, just a matter of shoring up their own shot calling. And Liquid can shore that up by just having a better 5-on-5 team, show up at objective, win them for free. But they've just got to be able to make sure they can handle the strong laning phase of the TSM champions.
They're also going to have to be very careful about picks. Anytime LeBlanc is on the map, you have to be extremely careful about your jungle pathing, where you're walking to. Oh, you want to walk over and take that dragon? Great. LeBlanc's sitting in the bush and one-shots you. So you have to be very cognizant of where Bjergsen is, and a lot of that does kind of double down on getting him ahead, because if he's not ahead, he can't have nearly as much power in those side lanes and in those kind of 1v1 scenarios.
Yeah, and that's going to be a fun thing to watch for then, is how well can Liquid play around this, because a lot of the players in this roster are still fairly new. Some of them had some time to cut their teeth in the Challenger Series, but how many LCS games have these guys had against Bjergsen's LeBlanc? Like, legitimately, right? Like, Fabi's like, all right, well, here we go. I'm up against the #1 team, and oh gosh, it's the best mid laner in the league on the Premier Assassin. Like, here we go. And this can be very hard. Sometimes you'll just see difficulty because you're running around through Fog of War. You can be one shot at any time, and that can make your options very difficult, and that can always be scary. Talking about Fabi as a player, I got to again talk to him before the games, and I had interviewed him in the first couple of weeks, and he was visibly very nervous. You saw him like leaning away from the microphone, and he had told me like, yeah, I'm very nervous on stage. It's suddenly called up to fill Piglet's shoes, and I talked to him about that today, and he's like, nerves are totally gone. I feel completely safe on stage, completely normal. I'm ready to go. I'm full power here. And honestly, Fabi as well, the rest of Liquid have continued to improve over time. And here they are ready to challenge TSM.
And Fabi, it's understandable that he would have been so nervous. Moving into a team like this, you're replacing a world champion. There's going to be so much spotlight on you. Liquid, a very popular team, a lot of pressure to perform, and not only equal but exceed the performances that Piglet has shown. So there's a lot of pressure on this guy's shoulder. He's met and exceeded that now and has every right to be feeling good.
And so he will. Getting ourselves now into the game shortly. The picks and bans were remade. Same champions, of course. No surprise there, but that timer's ticking down. And so in about 45 seconds, we'll pull up the rest of the graphics. The game will start loading in, and we will get this match underway. And I can only hope it's at least half as good as the match we had earlier. CLG versus Cloud9. If you missed that one, I recommend you go back and watch. It was an excellent series between those two teams. But now, Liquid and TSM, two teams in the top 3 in North America here. TSM have yet to even drop a match. If they win this one, they lock in a first-round bye in the playoffs in week 7. With 4 matches left to go, they can barely even move down to the standings if they lock this one down. Certainly one of the best teams we've ever seen in North America. Liquid, probably the best version of Liquid we've seen in NA. They've been getting better and better and better over time, and even in this highly competitive North American 2016 summer split, these teams look great. So vote for who it's going to be. Hashtag TL win, hashtag TSM win. You know the drill here. 2 of the very best teams in North America doing battle for all of our pleasure. The crowd is ready to cheer on their favorite squads, and here we go into game 1. Let's time for some quality League of Legends.
Always looking forward to quality League of Legends with you, Freak.
Thanks, man. Same.
Alrighty, so here we go. Interested to see if anyone's going to come up with kind of interesting level 1 strategies. I do think that TL is going to be trying to avoid the 2v2. At least that's my kind of gut reaction as far as going up against Doublelift and Biofrost on these two champions. Feels like it could be a bit of a death sentence for them. Jhin definitely can be abused pretty heavily, but at the same time, Nami is a strong laner. You can have the sustain, maybe last hit under turret, just kind of get out of the way that way.
30 seconds until minions
But
spawn.
it's
until someone
salvageable,
shows,
not beautiful.
Yeah, until someone shows, we don't really know.
All right, well, TSM so far playing mostly in the fog, actually allowing TL to walk into them. Bjergsen drops his trinket ward 55 seconds in and walks away, so clearly an orchestrated early game for TSM. Biofrost checks the brush, doesn't find anyone. And I don't believe anyone ever saw Matt. All they did know was that Biofrost tossed a Q in, so Karma was revealed to be near the bot side of the map. Liquid can play around that information. They're actually keeping Fabi down here by the Krug, so it looks like we will have matching lanes right here. The duo lanes facing off on the bot side. The top laners living up to their names. We'll see if the jungle starts are anything interesting right now.
Looks like they're both going to be doing a camp. Both top laners leashing for their junglers, and we will get the standard lanes that I love to see. And now, TSM should be pretty happy with this, and they'll have to see what they can actually get out of these lanes. What edges, what advantages can they carve out here against TL? TL should be very confident. They talked about their equal skill as far as mechanics go, and now it's time to prove it.
It is time to prove it. We'll see what comes out of this one here. Early push from Phoenix into Bjergsen. No surprise for basically anyone. Yeah, makes a miss one minion. Bjergsen didn't want to use a spell the last hit it. He's still got a full mana bar. So -1. Good job, Phoenix. Level 2 is going to come in right now, and Phoenix has not pressed the advantage, as he knew Bjergsen was going to level up soon enough. Nice stun by Hanser. Lands an auto attack. But Lorlo always ready to land his Grasp of the Undying trigger if he ever does get into combat. Hanser does not want to get that one auto attack trade, but Lorlo says, don't you dare. And with a nice pillar, gets a significant chunk. Very well played by Lorlo in this matchup.
Yeah, a lot of people just take your W level 2 on Trundle, but if you take that pillar, it's very hard for people to actually escape your trade, and you're able to get a lot of early damage out. Bjergsen looking to go aggressive, wants to get that trade in, but taking a lot of exit damage.
He did take quite a bit, but he knew that Phoenix had already, I think, burned his Q, so he knew there wasn't going to be that strong of an answer back, and gets what damage he could. I think still came out ahead slightly.
Oh, Dardoch looking for it. Kind of anti-timing here from Biofrost, perhaps. Svenskaren's coming down.
No, that's really, really smart by Biofrost. He knows the exact timing. Dardoch did Gromp blue-red, and you know that if they start topside, it takes you 3 minutes to get down there. Looking for the play right there. Biofrost dodges the root, but here comes Svenskaren on the other side, forcing the flash away from Dardoch, and now Double part of this fray as well. Exhaust is on. The flash knock of the fallout, first blood. Svenskaren knocked up by a bubble, but it's not enough. Now Matt's running out of HP, and Doublet's going to find himself 2 kills already. What a great start for TSM.
They may go for the dive here. It looks like they're trying to set up as Sven's coming around the backside, wants to make it a clean triple.
Well,
they got
the heal
it.
is up for Fabi. He's going to sorry, yeah, the flash, rather, was up for Fabi, but now he's got no ways out. It's going to be Biofrost maybe pulling aggro. Does do so, gets himself the kill. Nicely done. TSM 3-0.
3-0, 3 minutes in. That is just brutal for Team Liquid. And Doublelift, a massive beneficiary here. And look at Svenskaren, so smart. Biofrost baits him in. Sven's hiding in the Dragon Pit. They started off with so much damage on Dardoch, and he flashed early, but no chance to get out. Beautiful double knock up there by Sven. Matt had the return bubble, but there's no chance of being able to chase this down and get a kill for TL. And then Doublelift gets a lot of damage in. Biofrost finishes up the poke, and TSM executed this very, very well. So they put the damage in. Doublelift knows the red buff's on, so he can't enter turret range until that expires. He waits, it expires, he goes in, they finish it off, and TSM with the dream start to game 1 here against Liquid.
Absolutely wonderful by them. Even Biofrost said, I'll pull aggro, self-shield block the turret shot.
Perfect.
And the dive went so very well. 2,000 gold lead already here. TSM are winning this early game. Very beautiful.
It's definitely a scary...
Yeah.
Scary world to be in when you're Jhin with 12 CS up against a 2-kill Lucian coming back to lane.
Enjoy that one.
Oh boy.
Yeah, he's got himself the serrated Dirk already versus a longsword. It's not going to be easy. Dardoch now looking for the play on the top side of the map. A nice pillar, damage on the Hanser. Jumps in, gets body slammed up, and now only going to land this slow. So Hanser escapes the play without even burning a summoner spell and wants to fight back on a Dardoch because it's, no mana left on the Gragas. He knows he can get that one in.
And Orlo, I'm not sure if he actually got creep blocked there. It looked like he may have got kind of caught up on the creeps. That, or he just didn't feel like he could give away that wave in chasing, because there was a huge wave at his turret, and if you give up that farm and you don't get the kill, it's a disaster.
Right, you lose half a kill worth of gold in the first place, and what you would have gotten doesn't mean very much anymore. Svenskaren looking to return to the scene of the crime is notified there's a ward there and says, it's a pink one. Yep, let me kill that real quick.
We'll take that out, and they can continue to pressure this side of the map, because any remotely even fight is going to go heavily towards TSM, who has just such a big advantage right now. Bjergsen needs to be careful.
Dodging away from Phoenix. One more hit would have killed him.
He actually stuttered his auto. He might have had him.
Yeah, it was honestly very close. Phoenix still had flash available to make a chase happen, and now a level 6 Azir, but Bjergsen will just have to take the wave clear, and lucky for him, actually, is allowed to do so and kill off the caster minions to tie up the minion farm before they both recall and teleport back in. But at this point, no harm, no foul. They'll both get back to the lane at a reasonable time. And
TSM has a bit of a freeze going on. They're denying a lot of minions here, and Fabi is just getting zoned off so heavily. 44 CS to 19, and Doublelift is going to be to 6 so much faster than Fabi. If he gets 6, it could be devastating.
This is rough stuff right here. Liquid in the match lanes, not feeling good about this duel right there. The early kill, the gank by Svenskeren, and certainly very important. And,
Yeah.
A large mountain to climb back from right now, Liquid.
Look at Dardoch too. The CS discrepancy in the jungle is massive. It's almost double. It is doubling his farm right now.
Yeah.
29 to 14. Dardoch was really trying to make that bottom lane gank work. He was camping out in that lane for so long, trying to equalize that disadvantage that they have, and it doesn't pay off, which means Svenskeren power farming is going to be massively ahead. Picks up Swifties, Sightstone, and is off to the races.
Jeez, yeah, the races especially. Burrowed Rek'Sai with Swifties just zipping around the map, honestly. And Doublelift individually nearly doubled the gold of Fabi. It was like 3K to 1,700, just ridiculous leads right now. And you imagine you just keep going back to that lane. You know TSM hit level 6 first. Colin can clear the wave, set up the easy dive, and can Dardoch even match Svenskeren when that gank even happens? You think it'll be likely. Thankfully for Liquid though, Phoenix has priority in the mid lane. So Bjergsen is actually not allowed to roam without losing a lot of farm. Phoenix also given a pretty timely blue buff to keep that pressure on, and with the Negatron cloak, you think he won't be pushed out too easily. And there's definitely some tools here for Liquid to keep themselves afloat. But
And if that bot lane tragedy hadn't happened, we'd be talking a lot more about these year and how well it's going for Phoenix. But right now, it's just super overshadowed by what else is going on, and they're looking for the invade.
this is TSM having their one opportunity to make the play happen. Because Phoenix grabbed the blue buff, Bjergsen got priority this wave and this wave only. Joins Svenskeren, fights the red buff. In fact, they're going to be able to get this. It's on a ward, so it's a smite fight, but Sven over-leveled, should get it. Nicely done. One blue buff pickup was all TSM needed to say, hey, let's all go bot side and steal a buff away.
Yeah, and Svenskeren is just bullying Dardoch out of his own jungle. Going to look to take even more away. Matt's coming around. Did Svenskeren overstay? Nice ulti.
He did overstay. The bubble is there, and Sven had to realize the dual lane was around. He's going to flash and get a shield, and somehow he lives anyway. What a tragedy that Liquid failed to grab the kill. Sven, though, slinking out. Lorlo, maybe one of the only good lanes, can actually kill Hanser under the turret. In fact, he's going to do it. Lorlo with the solo kill on Hanser.
Wow, Lorlo giving life again to TL, and if he can get a big advantage in the top lane, maybe they can make something happen. They needed that, even just for the morale.
Oh, that is a beautiful thing to watch. So now Liquid have finally a pressure point they can use, maybe open this match up and get it to the team fight phase without getting rolled over. Maybe, just maybe. Bjergsen still knocked around under turret. Phoenix is winning in this matchup, and it's a matchup that Bjergsen wanted to play. He picked LeBlanc, seeing that Azir was in there. So this is Phoenix blind picking and so far being rewarded for his play so far. Liquid refusing to say die just yet.
Lorlo also, okay, never mind. I was going to say TP advantage, but he's going to TP right back up there. Wants to stay ahead on the farm, and he knows Dardoch is behind him. So can Dardoch get up there and maybe make something happen? Both these top laners have no flash, so the next jungle gank could be pretty explosive.
As long as you don't outplay the body slam, it's going to be a pretty secure capitalization. Of course, Svenskeren can do the same. And right now, Lorlo, without wearing the ultimate, not having the cooldown, he does come into this pretty squishy, only wearing a Ruby Crystal for durability right now. Bot lane still brutal. It's still double the CS. This isn't like, oh, 9 to 18 is a wave up. It's 46 to 96. This is ridiculous. 50 CSD at 10 is almost unheard of. That's like
completed Ghost Blade at 10 minutes.
Yeah, like I've only seen this when Jensen played his very first game against TSM at the beginning of the, last year's Summer Split, I believe it was?
Yeah.
And he just hadn't acclimated to competitive play yet.
I think they actually won that game, didn't they?
Yeah, they did, but Jensen
He was down
getting,
like 120 CS.
it was,
won. Yeah.
it was ridiculous.
I do remember the game. I was actually in the stands.
Oh, nice.
I was watching.
Nice.
Maybe you were casting. If so, I was listening to you.
I think I was in the analyst desk. I don't think I was casting.
I'm sure you had some great points.
Maybe.
Debatable.
I've only been in the analyst desk once all split, so.
I was going to give it to you, freak.
I appreciate that,
but it's okay.
I value honesty. I appreciate the compliment, though.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, so completed Ghost Blade against the Dirk. Feels bad for Fabi. Not much else to say about that. They're on the run. But they got to be hermits now and move around the map.
But this is smart. This is Liquid saying, okay, we don't want to match the 2-on-2. Trundle has priority. Have the dual lane join him. At worst, we trade resources, but they're still first in the play, so that turret's still going to be dropped rapidly enough. Okay, Devil Flex is down. That's fine. Again, it's at worst a trade right now. I don't think it gets much worse for Liquid here.
Yeah, an equal trade is actually very good for Liquid because the farther you go into the game, the less that gold lead means. As long as it's not extended, you just want to keep it even. But TSM may actually get a 2-for-1 as Doublelift is doing a ton of damage to this turret here in the bot lane, and TL bailed out. I don't think they're back in time, so this is going to be a 2-for-1. It's not that even trade they're hoping for.
So the way Liquid knocked the turret down, they lost most of their minion waves. They didn't choose to stick around for the next 30 seconds to wait for another. TSM actually kept their wave alive, and that push was just much better by them, so I take it back. Liquid not keeping enough minions up, managed to lose an extra turret on the trade. Some of that, of course, double its damage, but even still, well done by them.
He does so much more damage than Fabi right now. 2 levels up, has the completed item. This guy is going to be a monster.
But Liquid had 3 players. They were doing that with Lorlo the whole time. Like, theoretically, Liquid should still be faster. Oh, the bubble. Matt's going to get found out. Double with a speed boost. Is it going to force the flash? Yes, it is. And Matt guessed the correct direction to go. Doublelift did not. He gets away, but losing both summoners for that. And look at that. TSM now actually farther ahead. It's 3.4 thousand actually. Much higher than it was not long ago. It was only 2K after the triple kill in the bot lane. It's now double.
They're trying to push it in. They're trying to make sure there's no way that Fabi can kind of recover here by getting a freeze, by really trying to stall it out. So they want to get it to the inhibitor, and getting that chunk on Matt is making them feel comfortable to do so. They get it in, and now there's no freeze happening for Fabi. Good stuff there from the TSM bot lane, extending their advantages. Lorlo up here, though, trying to extend his. He'd love this red buff if he can pull it away, maybe.
No smite for either jungler right now. And that means Sven shouldn't be able to be around here. They're going to get it anyway, though, as Hansa rejoins the fight. Explosive Cast gets rid of the TSM top laner, but the Void Shark is the happy recipient of the Crest of Cinders.
Would have been good for Lorlo had he been able to pick that up, give him even more of an edge in that 1v1. And this is TSM camping it out. They know they have such an edge, and Dardoch just wants nothing to do with his bot lane. It's basically a abandoned ship on Fabi and Matt. They're just out on their own, and Doublelift, and he's allowed to push right to the inhibitor, set up picks in the jungle, and just try to look to extend that lead.
Okay, so now maybe we see a little bit more out of this one as TSM now the ones clearly able to make the calls first. Cole nearly fully stacked up for Doublelift. He's down to his Berserker's Greaves, going towards his next armor penetration item with the Longsword in the inventory. Certainly still going to be very powerful and able to find objectives to kill. Maybe they pull the trigger towards mid lane, maybe it's top side. Hansa right now, maybe prepping the top side of the map if that does happen.
One of the other things that's really tough is you talked about Fabi going up against Bjergsen, incredible mid laner, playing this assassin, and usually when you are an AD carry, you want to build some sort of like a Maw or at least a Hex Drinker or something to give you a chance of not getting one-shot by this LeBlanc, but when you're this far behind, you can't afford to actually really do it. You need to build some sort of damage to be able to deal with the front line, and it puts you in this awkward situation where you don't have enough damage, you don't have enough survivability, you're kind of just short everywhere.
And he will probably get Moss second, but that's a 3,000 gold item, and he's still not done with his Yoma's Ghostblade yet.
He's so far away.
It's far away. It's almost going to be 30 minutes when he gets that item done. Doublelift will probably beat him to that pretty easily. So a simple Cloud Drake picked up by TSM.
Here comes
and
the TP, they're looking for it.
The long play. Sven ulting down to the jungle. Here's Doublelift, but he's baby bunny up for the naked juke. It's popped right away. That was not a good play by TSM. And now Biofrost
on the backside, though. They don't see him.
Away. Okay, here comes the capitalization. The teleport in for Lorlo. Hanser not matching, so TSM may be trying to abort on the play because they're still not pulling the Irelia in, so it's the chance for an escape. Phoenix going to get rooted up, though. A lot of damage coming out of Biofrost. Is going to be forcing the barrier out of him. Svenskeard wants to chase. Bjergsen chased out by Lorlo, and maybe the appetite was too much. A nice jump in by Dardoch forces Bjergsen to run, screaming and hiding. Ulti pop puts the chain down, and he will be able to get away from Lorlo, saving his own life. All said and done, TSM losing a member, and that's all.
They do lose some summoners. Also, double summoners gone at Biofrost. Bjergsen uses his TP, so a nice turnaround there for TL. That's something they definitely needed to get done, and Doublelift a little too aggressive, kind of dove forward into that CC and got himself killed before Bjergsen could complete the pincer move. So in goes Doublelift. They know they're around. They see Fabi, but they do not expect this. There is nice CC chain. Matt and Dardoch just lit him up.
Now that was beautiful play right there. So props to Liquid for pulling off the bait properly. TSM sadly overeager without quite the right vision. Hanser had gotten some free time on the top side, wasn't able to kill the turret off, and he's actually still behind in the matchup, so we may still see Lorlo get advantages yet. He's done with his Satanic Hydra, but Hanser's done with Trinity Force, so the first big power spike is in for both bruisers.
Yeah. And Lorlo, you know, he TP'd for the team and still has that CS advantage, so he's doing very well. Bjergsen, nice trade onto Phoenix. And Phoenix has to be careful now.
He's got to run away from this one. Doublelift has culling up. There's plenty of damage available. Svenskern also has flash, so we can go for the unburrow and surprise his opponents. And in fact, it just means that the rest of Liquid have to hide away. Nicely done, TSM. Get the rotation into the mid lane. Bjergsen sets it up, and the team is right there behind him.
Another conversion. Rotate the bot lane to that mid lane, just keep extending it. It looks like they maybe want to go for the Herald now, or perhaps just the top lane tier 1. This kind of 3-man squad from TSM is just moving around the map, knowing that TL cannot hope to match their power at this point.
Oh, well, Dardoch's still waiting in the wings, though. Maybe we see something happen as Liquid have sent the resources to defend on this top side, but TSM not going to pull the trigger, not pushing in too hard. Just a couple of wards to be cleared out, and they will back away cleanly. Doublelift being sent to hold this top side of the map. The rest of his team, though, retreating. Hauntzer does hold teleport. He can join in whenever he wants.
I imagine he wants to get that bot lane wave. There's a pretty big one building up, pushing towards them. So they'll be happy to pick that up. And since he has TP, no problems about responding to any moves TL wants to make on the top side.
Well, we'll see if Liquid can respond, though, because TSM just holding this gold lead that makes it easy for them to do whatever they want with this game, as long as they're not heavily outnumbered. 5,000, 17 minutes in. Sizable for sure. Liquid will need to do some pretty heavy lifting to turn this one around.
Yeah. They really have been making some good plays, though, picking up a couple kills for themselves. And, you know, Lorlo with the solo kill in the top lane, going to be hoping to continue his advantages and really try to extend that lead.
The nice thing for Lorlo is he's got a pretty easy path to building just a ton of armor. If Bjergsen blows all of his cooldowns just hitting a high health Trundle, I don't think it's really going to push him out. So Lorlo can be nigh invincible and be a real carry force in this game. He's got the highest farm on his team. He's got one of his team's only kills. That can certainly be the way to win.
I agree.
Highest level on his team as well.
I think Bjergsen definitely will not want to spend too much on him, and especially if you are building HP instead of just like a broken card or something, because that can be pretty squishy. Dardoch takes away the blue, though.
A well-timed barrel popped it. Outsmites Svenskern with a regular ability. That was really nice by him.
At least it didn't go over to Phoenix, so that is something for TSM, and if you pressure them in, sure, the jungler grabs it, but it's not the end of the world. And TSM, once again here, back on Fabi, taking a lot of damage from the culling.
Yeah, hurt up a bit. Gonna pop the traps, try to get away from the root. He's gonna be okay with
Dardoch's
this one.
waiting.
Dardoch waiting for the play in case there was a dive, but there isn't one. He's gonna
Here
go
he
in, lands it, pushes in, Doublelift. That's gonna be the layered CC, and one more hit will do it. Biofrost trying to tank the curtain call, but doesn't even matter. Oh, he's gonna be able to run away. No, he's not. Dardoch wants in, and Doublelift wins it anyway. It's actually multiple kills for TSM. That is a 3-for-1 so far, and Lorlo could be the 4th. It's a bad sign for Liquid, as they've been unable to find much purchase.
They set up such a good play, but the bot lane is too far behind. They have no damage, and nice rejection
from Phoenix. Yeah, pushes him out, still gets popped away by Bjergsen. The wall falls down, and Lorlo gonna be next up, running for dear life. Hauntzer with a flash slow. This could be it. One more attack will do it. As soon as the Q comes up from cooldown, he's dead. Gets him down 8-3 and kills. TSM up 7,000.
It's a delayed ace for TSM as they come up huge, and it was a good try from TL. If Fabi wasn't so massively behind, Doublelift would have just instantly died, but he is, and Doublelift able to survive so long with Biofrost. Great job from them. They get the first turnaround kill, and it set the stage for the collapse.
And a lot of comments about TSM say sometimes they just look angry.
Yeah, and here it is once again. Really nice engage, honestly. Fabi, though, does not have the damage. She's actually caught reloading during that, so couldn't even get more than one shot. And look at Bjergsen on this dive. Didn't even catch that in the initial play. Solos out the AD carry. Doublelift able to make the outplay. Kills off Dardoch. No hope for Madden. And Lorlo maybe should have just even canceled that TP. He gets in there. Is going to be eventually taken out as they re-engage.
And that fight would have been so different if Bjergsen weren't there, because Fabi would have gotten the rest of the curtain call off. It would have gotten the kill on Doublelift. It probably would have gotten the kill on Biofrost much sooner. Biofrost actually dead right now, by the way. He was caught out, so Liquid holding a 5v4. I didn't see how they picked him off, but that is a dead karma.
So Gragas was able to pick him off during that replay. They get a catch, so a nice play from Dardoch nets them a kill. They're going to need a lot of these little plays, though. They have to constantly get picks, constantly chip away at this lead, because it's 8,000 gold right now.
Right, Liquid are getting individual kills. TSM gets triples. And you're trading 1 for 3 and 1 for 3, and Liquid got a pick, and then nothing else because they're too far behind. Even the 5v4 wasn't even that forceful. So
the farm is becoming a big problem also, and here it is once again. Biofrost pretty far up there. Dardoch makes the turnaround, pops him in. Yeah, that was really greedy from Biofrost as he gives away a freebie. But TSM will take the Dragon, extend their advantage, and it's not just the kills, it's the farm. If it was only the kills or only the farm, it wouldn't be as bad, but they have everything, right? You have 70 CS advantage on Doublelift, and he has 3 kills. You're up 20, 30 CS on Bjergsen, and he has 2 kills. So yeah, it's looking so good.
Yeah, specifically Svenskerin's up 1,600 over Dardoch right now on this Rek'Sai in the farm and the kills he's been a part of. So substantial lead.
Wants the turnaround
with Doublelift, and he's got curtain call. So how is he going to get away from this one? Oh, he misses one of the snipes, and Svenskeren helps to tank it away. So Doublelift turns out a trade of 2 ultis for 1, but that is a loss of priority. TSM have to heal their AD carry back up.
I think Lorlo would have had him in the 1v1, but had to respect the rotation from TSM. Does not give away his life, as the overchase would have certainly resulted in.
Yeah, so proper tempered expectations for Lorlo here, who is still holding one of the few kills on the team and hoping he can win this game. Up 3 minions on Hauntzer, one of the few winning matchups his team actually has. In fact, the only one who has more farm than his opposite member on Liquid, but it feels like those opportunities are still few and far between to abuse that advantage. Dardoch pops a tunnel over a ward. Svenskeren wants to be part of this one, running right in, and yeah, he's going to find some damage on a Dardoch, and you can see that this Gragas does not want to fight him. Svenskeren, Cloud Drake, and Swifty Boots, and Deadman's Plate. The very, very fast Rek'Sai can get all around the map.
With the mountain being picked up, it's pretty early still, but they can start to threaten Baron. They do have that additional true damage. They're actually going right onto the Baron, going to start it up, and it's the 3-man, so this may not actually be suspected at all from TL. Both the solo laners are still showing their faces, and I don't think TL has any idea whatsoever. Just now they're starting to ping it, but is it too late?
I don't think Dardoch's going to be able to get the steal because Bjergsen can zone him out. 2,800 health on Baron, no chance at all. Nicely done, TSM picking up Baron Nash. We're 23.5 minutes in, 9,000 the lead.
And now it is time for that gold lead to balloon. They can look to pick up the last 2 outers and just really extend it, and they may have caught Dardoch.
He wanted to get his own blue buff back, and he's going to die for this one. No, he's going to flash over the wall. Transcendent Blades transcends him back to the fountain. Nicely done, Hauntzer.
I love it. Very well done by Hauntzer. The sniper play on Aurelia. Jinhu, he's the sniper now.
Yep.
Do take down this tier 2.
Look at me, I'm the sniper now.
There you go.
That's the one we're going for here.
Yep.
Oof, TSM just... This is what TSM angry looks like. This is why everyone is afraid of this team. This is why so many people think North America looks so good this split because of teams like this, how vicious they are, how efficient they look so frequently. Players and shot calling together
have rarely, if ever, seemed to slip up this season. And Dardoch going forward wants the blue way too far, and he is going to pay with his life. Ultimate gets dropped, and Hauntzer able to keep vision for a little second there, and then anticipating the movements of Dardoch takes him out with the ulti. And they're going to be moving topside. Bjergsen wants to push us in. They still have the Baron buff, looking to get the last outer, extend the gold lead even further, but it's 11,000. And when you're that far ahead, it can very easily become diving time. It's just so hard to deal with the pressure of these waves, plus all the additional items.
And I believe the reveal on Dardoch was the Karma W. It'll reveal you for the duration of it so that you can keep watching the tether, but even if it's broken, it seems like it still gives you that sight. And it allowed the shots into the darkness work out here. 2 work out for Hauntzer.
Yeah.
So TSM, how long is it going to take you to win this game? Because it seems almost a foregone conclusion here. A comeback would be extremely rare here for Liquid, but honestly, they are still in the game.
With this gold lead, they could actually end it on this Baron buff. If they're able to get the correct fight, we'll see if they're going to be able to do it. Just the 80 carry difference is so massive. 4,000 gold up, and Bjergsen's looking for Fabi.
And that's only landing 2 buttons. If the chain was there, he was absolutely dead. You can see Fabi's still not able to put the Hex Drinker or Maw in just yet. He actually went straight to Dirk first. Not wearing his stats makes his life, of course, quite a bit harder. Bjergsen plenty of magic pen in his build. Hauntzer gets hit up, but just the damage is not there. Explosive Cask wouldn't have meant enough. Svenskeren zoning on the left-hand side. Turret taking some more damage, but Doublelift still giving respect to Dardoch's Explosive Cask. Sven finally does leave the base for now.
And no need to rush it, as you have your solo laners off in the side lanes. Bjergsen takes down that tier 2, so they're going to have both Bjergsen and Hauntzer pressuring on those inhibitor turrets, and this is where it gets so tricky. Bjergsen and Svenskeren are already in on the turret. TSM could go for this, or they can just go right back to mid lane. I think that's what Double Lift is going to do. They're going to get both.
Back and forth, back and forth. Top lane and mid lane inhibitor turrets are killed within 2 seconds of each other. And now, 2 open inhibitors. Top lane still taking damage from Bjergsen, always making sure that he's nearby his team.
Haunts are making the collapse. They're going to look for the fight.
Darda couldn't find the engage. He's the one getting hit instead and gets popped up and killed off by Double Lift. Bjergsen also looking for the flank on the side, but just hits that poor little inhibitor. Again, nearly gets the kill, and if Fabi pulls out the exhaust from Matt, and all of Liquid's base is dying. They just don't have the gold to fight back. The items are simply not there. Double Lift a full item and a half ahead.
And Aurelia is going to take down the bottom inhibitor turret, so this is going to be a triple inhib, if not just the game. TSM may want to play it safe. Bjergsen's TPing back in, though. Are they going to go for the end? I think the safe play is just back off, spend your gold, because they just picked up so much.
Yeah.
But they're so ahead already. They could just try to end it.
Sitting in 1,000 to 2,000 gold per person. There's the pop. He finally lands the chain, and Fabi didn't flash nor heal. He didn't think he needed it, and he was gone. Now the tidal wave comes across, only tags 1 person. TSM about to close this one out here. 16,000 ahead. Slow and steady. Maybe even fast and steady. Again, looking for the play. Chunk on a Phoenix, bit of damage on a Matt. And now the minions are coming in. No supers yet. They're still running across the map. And that does mean TSM say, you know what, our health bars are getting low enough. We'll try again a little bit later, but...
Yeah, there's just no reason to risk it. If you look at this game, if there's any way that you can lose, you lose. And it's overstaying here. Go back, spend all your gold, complete your items, walk down mid lane as 5 with triple inhib down, all the super minions in the world pushing in, and there's almost no way for TL to defend.
Definitely the case. So, the fat lady, she's not singing yet, is certainly warming up her voice right here. This game is all but spoken for. TSM looking at the sub 30-minute game 1 victory.
Look at the 80 carry itemization right now.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous. And we're going to have a replay of this kill, and it's just the QR. That's it.
Oh, and Thunderlords, wow.
That's it. He just based, he gets a death cap, he comes back, had 2 shots Fabi, literally. Ridiculous. And TSM closing the jaws here, looking to take game number 1.
Super minions flooding into the base. Liquid hoping to defend right here under their Nexus turrets, but it seems unlikely. Hanser pulled back for a second, but they are giving respect to Dardoch's engage as they know explosive cast could turn this one sideways. So TSM playing with a little bit of respect for Liquid's chances. No Baron up on the map. Dardoch chunk to half. It's going to buy him some time. Cullen getting some damage as well, but Hanser taking a lot of damage from soldiers. Down to 2/3 HP. But the minions flood in. This one's going to be the Nexus turrets dropping down below half HP. One more auto will do it. That's one destroyed. The second one's going to be up in front of him. And now it's only onto the Nexus. TSM maxing out their fantasy points and going for the game win right now. Dardoch down to 1,200 HP. Nexus in front of them. That's going to be the game. TSM have now won 15 straight games of League of Legends in the North American LCS and show no signs of stopping.
Just ridiculous. TL is a team that almost beat Immortals. Pick up Vladimir now, or do they say, hey, you know, we actually really need this Karma for the 2v2? If they take the Karma, they're giving over Vladimir to Phoenix very likely. That may be the trade that they're trying to make, but it's, yeah, no chance. Vladimir picked up right away, and now TL is going to have to try to really make good on that bot lane investment.
And I can't imagine Liquid would have to be this sad about it, though, as Zera's up, and it's absolutely one of Phoenix's very best champions. You get that early Rek'Sai grab as well. This feels like a reasonable trade of resources, honestly, if you're Liquid. I actually, so far, like what Champ 6 looked like for the red side.
So do I. I think it's pretty smart, especially talking about Vladimir that hasn't been doing nearly as well this patch. Will it continue to succeed here for TSM? We'll find out. But yeah, Zera going to be available. Sivir is actually still on the table here too.
Oh, true.
Sivir Karma, very good bot lane, has been ultra high priority. I think it works well with Rek'Sai and with a lot of the kind of champions that Lorlo likes to play. Those speed-ups are also very advantageous.
Totally agree. So we'll see what that matchup ends up being. Other positive thing for Liquid is now they can counter-pick both solo lanes. They already know who the mid laner is with 90% certainty, and they've got last pick to make sure top lane goes well. So there's the early Gnar. You have an obvious really going into that, you assume here. For Lorlo, who loves the champion, and the matchup looks good. Azir's already locked in. Didn't even take him any time.
Yep, Azir gets insta-locked there. And do they decide to go for the 80 carry, hide that top laner for a little bit more? Depends really what they want to show. And Sivir was taken away from Fabi. Sivir with that combo so good. But Ashe is still available, as is the Jhin. Fabi's going to be definitely comfortable on any of those picks.
And you can see Loco talking specifically to Fabi. What matchup do you want to play? I know Ashe is not great into it because it's easy to spell shield. So he says, no, I'd rather win lane. Let me get something more dominant. Lucian Karma, one of many teams' very favorite bot lanes right now. We're seeing this combo actually very frequently now. Is they will hope to win the 2-on-2 with this.
And I have been expecting these sorts of lanes to really look dominant in the 2v2s, but it just hasn't been the case lately. In the series earlier today, we saw it multiple times. At best, it was basically going even, and it was not really carving out those advantages that you sometimes expect to see from the Lucian Karma. So if you're putting a heavy investment into it and Silver coming out even, I feel like that's advantage Silver.
I totally agree with you. So we'll see if Liquid can find an advantage here in the 2-on-2. Otherwise, it does all go away. Italy, and now Alistar actually for Biofrost. And yeah, many scenes are happy to play Alistar. It's one of the more high priority champions, but this is one where in North America, after 3 support bans and a first-round red side support pickup, Alistar is like, well, yeah, I guess it's next up on the list.
Yeah, one of the exceptions is actually Special, who loves playing melee supports. He's almost always on Alistar and Braum, and this is kind of a little bit of a run back we saw in that lane on Friday when it was Apex playing Alistar and the Sivir, and they were going up against C9, who was playing the Karma Lucian. We're able to go even with the melee support, so it's definitely possible, but I still would think it should be a heavy advantage for TL in that bot lane. It will be Aurelia as expected that you called out, so Aurelia, good matchup into that Haunter. Lorlo with a solo kill in game 1 on Haunter. Can he repeat here? And can the TL bot lane avoid the disaster that happened in game 1? Keep themselves even, allow these solo laners who are doing pretty well to get some advantages.
And what's interesting actually is more and more we're seeing Gnar as the go-to blind pick top laner. And even though 90% of the time people are playing Aurelia into it, it seems like no one seems to care that much about it. No. But all the time is like, yes, he's going to play Aurelia probably. I'm okay. It'll be fine.
It's kind of replacing Shen a little bit. Shen's getting banned a lot. And as far as picks goes, it's actually the most picked top laner by quite a lot now in this patch. So it's definitely seeing a ton of play. It is pretty solid. I do feel like it's one of those champions, though, that can be very difficult to execute as far as in the team fights, landing those good stuns, having your TPs timed really properly. And sometimes the Gnar can fall very flat. Yeah,
he is unreliable sort of by design, and teams have to play around those windows. Yes, you can control to a certain extent how much rage you gain, how much rage you fall, get in combat, keep leashing a wolf camp to build up the bar, who knows what, but at the end of the day, you still have to play around an extra mechanic on one individual champion, and that's going to be up to Haunter to do that right here. We are getting ourselves ready for game 2 of this match. TSM have won 15 games straight. They're hoping to make it 16 now with this game 2 against Liquid, who are hoping to hold on to what they can here in standings. TSM will lock in a playoff bye if they win this game, lock down the match 2-0. Liquid, thankfully for them, C9 have lost earlier today, so they hold on to 3rd, but would love to keep holding on to a top spot in the standings. And here we go with game 2.
Bjergsen took Storm Raider's Surge this time around, so going to be looking for the speed ups. Doesn't have Ghost, so maybe that's kind of the trade-off he's thinking. Take the TP. If you're able to burst some little damage in there, you can really fly in with Storm Raider's Surge. And Vladimir already has speed ups kind of built into his kit, so we'll see if that does come into play. TSM looking for a sneaky play. They're going to try to force their way in here. Did Phoenix actually spot them?
I don't believe he did. That's why Bjergsen pushed in so hard, is to allow the team to capitalize. But outside of a flash pulverize, Biofrost does have exhaust, but seems unlikely they would kill off Dardoch, and in fact, they were not able to. It will give TSM deep wards, but that should be a surprise to almost no one.
Still a clever little play there. Bjergsen pushes back Phoenix. TSM moves in to get that deep vision, and we have Matt and Fabi actually just hiding out here in the top lane, perhaps expecting the lane swap in advance. And they got way past those wards, so TSM is going to have no idea where these guys are. Are they waiting in the bot lane? Are they in top lane? And Biofrost, at least, is heading over to mid lane, so I think they're waiting for them to show. This is something that CLG does sometimes, just going to send their dual lane of mid.
Yep, and it's obviously TSM really trying to find out where these champions are. Haunter, if he finds the lane matchup that he wants, great. If not, he can TP to the other side of the map and keep playing from there.
They tricked them, so they didn't see anyone walking by there. So TSM says, okay, they're bot side. We have that deep ward there. They must not be on this side of the map, and so they're going right up. And this is a great start for TL. TL has actually just kind of baited this out, still not showing because they want this 2v2 so badly, and they're going to get it. So will they be able to do something with it?
Yeah, the matchup they wanted, the 2-on-2. Doublelift and Biofrost walk in
Oh god,
and say,
Doublelift
okay.
doesn't know they're there. He's got face check.
He's going to get walked right in onto it. That's already Flash being burned as well as 500 of his health right there.
Wow.
Ooh, that is not something that Doublelift really needed.
And if you thought this matchup was bad before,
it's now abysmal, especially a level 1 Alistar is practically useless as a champion. Liquid will have priority in leveling up first.
Especially, he started Q. He started Pulverize.
He can't even heal to keep him alive.
Exactly. This is not a guy starting heal. He's going to be pretty worthless. And Dardoch, did he actually spot him? Yeah, he did spot Svenskeren over on that red buff. Very early move here from Svenskeren. Going to be looking to take it away. Can Dardoch get in and deny? Resets,
but Dardoch gets the small pieces of the buff, and honestly, Sven didn't get too much done. He did get 2 camps, so it doesn't feel terrible for him, but Dardoch managed to jump over in time to keep this all afloat. No red buff steal for him. It's a route we've seen before, and look at this. Yeah, Fabby. Again, he said, he's dead! He's dead, he's dead, he's dead! Beautiful play. First blood goes over to Matt. Liquid answering back just like in the previous game TSM did to them.
Except this is even more impressive. This is straight up 2v2.
Yeah.
They get the advantage themselves. Very intelligent play. It starts by baiting them into the lane swap, by getting there immediately and hiding out. The fake check rewards them with the flash, and here it is once again. Doublelift still level 1.
Why is Doublelift fighting? You're level 1. You are not allowed to fight for this farm.
And he has just no chance to get out. Flash forward. Second part of the mantra Q comes down. Free kill for TL. Things looking good. Only downside is really that it did not go on the Lucian, unfortunately.
Yeah, Biofrost honestly a late exhaust as well. Fabi had already gone through several rotations of spells and auto attacks before that summoner ever came in. And the funny thing is, I'm actually reminded of a Spring Split game with Piglet, where the same thing happened to Doublelift and Yellowstar, actually.
Yeah.
It was against Lucian and something else, right? It was Janna, I believe it is, against like an Ezreal Alistar, and, well, level 1 Alistar doesn't do anything, and they just got jumped on.
Dardoch finds Svenskeren pretty low.
Yeah. Okay, so TSM having to lick their wounds. A great start for the Liquid duo. We'll see how much else they can get. They picked for the lane. They played to get the matchup. They guessed correctly. Props to them. Now they've got to abuse this as much as they possibly can. More poke coming in. Damage on a Biofrost. As finally Alistar has learned his heal, the triumphant roar, though it doesn't really seem like it right now. It's more of a sad, dejected whimper trying to keep the health bars afloat. Oh, I'm sad. Oh, I'm down 10 CS.
Either way, TSM, if they can actually slow this down a bit, the lead isn't that bad yet. Nice engage!
Biofrost goes in for the combo, but he's going to miss the javelin. But still, look at the damage output allowed. Matt lands his shields, exhausts Svenskeren, and after he comes in, Biofrost low on health. Fabi get hit by the crossblade, and they get away. 2 summoners lost by TL, none for TSM to get in.
Good job. Nice combo there by Biofrost. Had Svenskeren landed his spear, I think it would have been a kill.
Yeah.
Just barely missing, though, and now they're looking for the bot side punish. Can they execute this dive properly? Let's find out.
Orlo and Haunter.
This is going to be big.
Okay, here we go. The knockup's going to get in. There's the damage up, but there's the kill. Maybe he's going to flash the chase, and Dardoch gets away with 200 HP, healing back up, running out. Bjergsen teleports in and gets nothing for his efforts. Priority back to Phoenix in the mid lane. Bjergsen gets away with a farm.
Really good play from TL on the bot side. Yes, it costs them the summoners, but still they nail it. Really good execution. Dardoch starts it off. He gets aggro, interrupting the jump there from Haunter, and Lorlo following in, full committal. Dardoch tanks exactly how many turret shots he can take. Good stuff, but Sven's still up here on the top side, making sure his bot lane does not fall even further behind.
Well, here's Liquid. Their early game is the best part of their game. This time they've got the winning lanes for sure, and they were able to actually make both side lanes win right now. So you got to imagine Liquid, so far the formula is certainly working out. The recipe is being built. It's in the oven. Give it 15 minutes, it'll turn into a beautiful Liquid win casserole if it keeps going this way.
It's pretty unfortunate that Fabi was never actually able to base and buy. So they never had an item advantage actually developed from that starting point, where it could have been, you know, some items to nothing from Doublelift. And because Doublelift has gotten some help from their jungler, Svenskeren has been up there a lot, he's actually picked up a lot of CS. He's only down 5 CS now, and Fabi with the assist doesn't really matter as far as that advantageous matchup. So although it is an edge now, it really hasn't amounted in anything because they were never able to buy and extend it.
Yeah, it's gold in your pockets, which doesn't really mean very much at this stage. You've got to convert it into items. You've got to invest it in your future success. And of course, Doublelift wanting to push the wave as hard as he can. Biofrost even helping with the trample passive, pops the heal, walks into some minions. And TSM will equalize the minion score with this. they will also make their own recall, and that's 6 minions that Liquid are not getting. It's instead just going to be Matt absorbing the XP, trying to last down our turret as support Karma. He's getting most of them, so good on him. That's, I believe, 4 out of the 6 CS grabbed. But now it's going to be a desynced recall, so Fabi's going to be alone for most of the first wave.
TSM swapping out. They want nothing to do with this 2v2, so they're going to send their dual lane bot, try to swap the Gnar away too, but this has already actually been called. Liquid is already making the rotation.
Wow, very heads up by Liquid to understand that TSM is going to swap down. That is, I'm pretty sure that is a blind read because no one else was really spotted other than the fact that Hanser was shoving really hard. Both these teams will be down to the bot side. Svenskeren, nice, takes the Scuttle Crab away.
Hanser's coming in, Dardoch needs to get out.
Yeah, he's able to jump back into the pillar. He had unburrowed to auto attack, had that burrow back down. Funnel goes away. Now both these teams are near the Drake, but Liquid with the stronger dual lane. I'm pretty sure I do like Fabi's items a bit more than like double lifts. More raw ID on one side, but armor pen is better.
Yeah, as far as the early items, but still, it's a good buy from double lift. You wouldn't think that they just got 2v2 killed very early on and we're that far behind. So he's looking solid and definitely is not in a position where he's going to be super bullied by any means.
Totally agree. There is an advantage in items for Lorlo over Hanser, of course. Phage and a dagger. Feeling good against a stacking Jarm's Fist. We'll see if we can get any more out of this one, but yeah, Hanser certainly, much like Doublelift, not too far behind for how bad the matchup was looking with the kill earlier on in the game. TSM able to lick their wounds, the gold lead remaining at 1,200.
A lot of that credit does go to Svenskeren too, who equalized that matchup just by showing constantly, not allowing TL the time to really bully it out.
Right, I mean, Sven actually is up gold right now, despite the fact that Dardoch got 150 from an assist, so good by him. Good by the rest of TSM to keep it close. We'll see what else can happen now. As Liquid attempting to pressure on the bot side of the map. And the thing is, if they can push faster, they can get this Infernal Drake. It's pretty much every pro's favorite Drake to grab, so maybe that becomes a play and an important choice for them soon. Using a red buff, but Rek'Sai's actually coming top side without the Nidalee anywhere nearby, so Lorlo really wants some damage on a Hanser, pops the ulti, forces it rather, and if they can push this wave in, that can set up for a dive. Teleport will be up very soon for Bjergsen. Yeah, Dardoch gets his deep wards down.
Hanser smells it. He was hanging out that maybe Dardoch could be around. He was backing off. Svenskeren on the other side. They're going to be looking for this dive with Alistar. Going to be setting it up. Can they make the outplay?
Out of the turret. They've got to run back. And uh-oh, Matt's going to get Minotaur up right now. The headbutt pulver is coming in.
Nice flash, though.
Flashes away. Makes Sven flash out as well. Biofrost pops the ulti to live. And a canceled teleport from Lorlo. Didn't actually want to be part of the fight after all. Misjudged what was needed. That's a 3-minute cooldown.
Now it's the return. Dardoch has been spotted out. Can they make the play onto Hanser?
Yeah, he's going to limp away. But it's going to be a wave and change denied. Similar to what Liquid lost, to be honest, is they're also forced off their own turret. Now damage on the turret themselves. Lorlo really wants in into Hanser. Jumps in, gets a slow. Hyper's going to mean a little bit, but not terribly much, as this ensures that those topside minions don't get much. Lorlo's still waiting for the Q cooldown. Able to kill the wave off cleanly enough. But here's the thing, TSM got priority on the bot lane. They forced the recall, so they actually are the squad who get the Infernal Drake. Liquid chose to snowball top lane, and by virtue of those decisions, TSM actually are going to get more out of this.
Yeah, they are, and Doublelift is going to get this local gold for himself, and he is up actually on gold now. He's up a fair bit of CS, he's up a couple hundred gold from that start. It is fantastic. Biofrost getting caught though.
He has to flash away from this one. Very low on resources. Honestly, you may see Liquid be able to return to the scene of the crime and get more done. Biofrost missing the ulti still, of course. Got to make sure there's no wards. He knows Biofrost recalling in that brush. Doesn't care about it too much though. And he's now just going to look for what could have been a double lift, but isn't. Instead, it's going to be a turret. So, because of the extra time spent by TSM to knock down the Drake, it gave Liquid the tempo advantage on the rest of the map. Able to get back to the bot side, and it's going to mean damage, if not the complete turret down here.
They should be able to get it with the next wave coming up here. Sven is looking to defend though.
Dangerous. That's dangerous, Spencer.
He's coming in behind
comes
them.
in for the root as well. Look at the damage over they've got. Dardoch, though, taken out by Doublelift. That was smart by TSM, and now here comes the rest of the squad. Matt running out of HP. No summoners up. Doublelift will get this chase pretty easily. One more hit will do it, and it's a double kill. Now Fabi is out of resources. Running from Hanser, but that is a Mega Gnar. That's a stun to the wall. 234 gets him the kill. 3-2 TSM getting several in that encounter.
Really nice play. Bjergsen not even needed, just goes right back to mid lane. And you can see the TPs are already coming in from TSM. Both the players make the move. Dardoch taking a lot of turret damage there. Needs double lift, able to get the initial kill into 3v2. Svenskeren goes in, hops right back out, and Fabi, no real chance for him to get out as Haunter is hot on his tails and does pick up the last kill.
Fabi's got nowhere to go. And a lot of that, though, was a miscue, I think, by Liquid. Remember in the earlier dive, Florlo had started and canceled his teleport, so we could not match what Haunter had done, and Phoenix wasn't really able to punish Bjergsen's teleport either, so a sad failing from the Liquid solos, both with their own individual mistakes. Nice right there by Svenskeren to knock Phoenix off the recall and give priority to them in the mid side of the map. Liquid instead gonna give away that turret and go for the Rift Herald.
And it's Lorlo again, putting the focus onto him. A lot of the hopes for TL will be riding on this guy as gold is very even, and he's the one with the advantage, and now having that Herald can look to extend it.
We'll see if they can get anything more out of this one then. It is on Lorlo, just like it was last game. This time around, though, a less catastrophic early game. It could have been better for Liquid, of course. They had gotten some nice kills in their lane, and good for TSM. They were able to turn that around, but now we are, as you mentioned, in a close gold game with a Rift Herald on one side, a Infernal Drake on the other, and that means a very concentrated piece of effort on Lorlo winning his matchup. He's going to head to the bot side.
Playing very even against Bjergsen. Both champions scale extremely well. So there's a lot of potential here for TL to be right in this game. And it's Lorlo heading down to the bot side, has his Trinity Force completed up against that Frozen Mallet from Haunter. Going to be hard to stick onto him. And one of the problems with this matchup becomes once you have these items is you go in, you queue onto this guy, you get this great early trade, but if Gnar ever gets away from you, you don't have another way back because you don't get the queue reset, and then he can chase you down with that Frozen Mallet and get a lot of return damage.
Oh, Matt knows he's being attacked. Hunt's going to come in, actually forced to use the exhaust to get Svenskeren off of him. I'm not sure if he quite needed it, but he thought he did. Lorlo now in a battle with Haunter, who turns into Mega Gnar. Lorlo gonna have to regen back up with his Corrupting Potion and his W passive.
Dardoch has been spotted. Can they chase him down?
They're gonna try. A nice play by Lorlo to get around to this one. Hunt's gonna miss the stun, which means he's done for. And the kill does go over to Lorlo. Dardoch does not quite take it away. Mid, though, pressured by TSM's jungler. And it means some turret damage.
Just back and forth. It's been a very heavy junglers duel. These two looking to make plays on each other. Bjergsen gets rooted.
Yeah, nice play by Matt to set up the damage up by coming out of Phoenix, but it's, of course, of Vladimir. He's got plenty of health bar for himself, plus 197 for hitting a minion with it, and he's okay at over 1,000 health.
Yeah, has the cowl, MR built up, and working on that CDR. Dardoch coming in, looking to get something done. Can he take it away?
Ooh, nicely done. Svenskeren managed to grab his own red buff, I do believe. Lorlo, a lot of priority down here. Haunter just now respawning, it seems. And, of course, we saw earlier, TSM were able to finally equalize the turret kill that Liquid had gotten earlier from the Dragon Take. And this means that TSM are winning in gold because of farm. Turrets and kills are equal. They're out-farming their opposition.
It spends up a lot of CS, and Sivir ulti gets popped.
They're running down to the bot side of the map to get away from everyone else. Looks like maybe they can cut off Lorlo. That's not going to be likely. He flashed over the Drake pit to get himself out of that. Looks like he was afraid of being chased down, and that was his easy way out.
Yeah, I think it's smart. You don't want to risk giving up a kill. And that shutdown as Gnar could have been coming up. So close the summoner, makes a safe call. And TSM up 1,000 gold, have the Infernal in their back pocket. And Bjergsen going to be very scary in these mid-game fights.
He definitely is. This Vladimir has farmed quite nicely. Highest farm in the game. Phoenix right behind him, though. Two great team fight mages. Just Vladimir better at killing the backline, better at staying alive under threat. So, yeah, Bjergsen, you know, it's a worthy first pick of a champion, of course. You mentioned win rate stats, but plenty of teams still really liking playing this Vladimir. Bjergsen will hope that he can really keep pushing forward on this game. Mid lane priority once again. Double if knocks down the cannon minion. And here we go. This turret's going to fall shortly. No answer for Liquid. That will be going down.
Yeah, Biofrost's on the side, so if they come up too far to try to defend, he could have gone for the dive. So very well set up by TSM. Either way, things probably would have gone their way.
Definitely agree with this one. So TSM, 1,500 roughly the gold lead. Cloud Drake coming up soon as well. They're already in position. Pink ward is on to clear the wards out. They're now playing around the darkness. And Liquid haven't found much to do yet. Another ward is going to be lopped off.
Lots of members on this bot side converging around the dragon. We could have our first major team fight as Liquid is around here.
And TSM have to be a little bit careful. Cloud Drake, highest single target DPS of all of them, and from my talking with players, a lot of them are concerned about that. Sometimes it makes it not worth the risk, and looks like TSM did not want to make that play. So Liquid, now priority on the mid lane. They are first to the outer turret, but they've got to be afraid of getting jumped on, and they just rotate back over towards this Drake pit. A lot of that farm actually dying to the turret, but they've got priority now to run down the river as well. They were able to stop TSM's first look toward that. Dardock wants to jump over the wall, doesn't find anyone to kill, only finds some wards to pick off, and now it's Liquid's turn to play for the Cloud Drake. They can kill it fast.
With this top lane wave pushing in, it should be Liquid's if they see Doublelift up there, because Doublelift wants to respond. It's a huge wave. Do they make the move? They see him now, but not actually going for him. They just try to get mid first.
Yeah. I think they clear the mid lane. They make sure that Bjergsen has to sit down there. So Double is spotted top, Bjergsen spotted mid. This should be a rush down, but I think even at best, though, it's Liquid going in a smite fight. Svenskeren has flash available, and there's not that many amazing zoning tools for TL.
They're just going to give it up. It looks like Sven is up doing the Gromp, so they don't really care about this.
Miracle Boomerang! It was well timed, but a even better time smite by Dardock.
And they're looking for the tier 2s. Doublelift has been pushing this entire time. Bioforce is going up there with him. Bjergsen pushes in mid lane. He can join up too, and they're looking to try to get another turret as the trade. They're already up quite a bit of gold.
Yeah, and it's going to be a lot of damage. Liquid hoping to respawn in time, but it's before 20 minutes, so no home guard bonus to run there faster. Cloud Drake saving the half a second, which maybe means a couple hundred turret health.
Not too shabby. As Babby's able to clear out some of these waves, is down almost 30 farm right now. And definitely falling behind pretty heavily in that AD carry matchup.
Yeah.
Especially when you take scaling into consideration.
And on a similar boat, though, of course, Hanser is down 30 as well under Lorlo, and that match wasn't getting any easier either. So
it doesn't, but I feel like it matters less, just because.
Yeah, I could see that.
As far as like team fighting and stuff, it's okay for your Nara to be kind of a bit behind. He's going to be building very tanky. He has a freeze right now, which could be tricky for him to break, and he's even on XP. Fabi, it's like he kind of hit his power spike timings and stuff, and he's not really able to get anything from it, even with those early kills in lane. So could be tough for him to deal with people like the Vladimir, like the Nara, as they pile in these team fights.
And, kind of unfortunate, too. You got a level 2 first blood and weren't able to push it really any farther than that. So I agree. TSM have done a great job of getting their AD carry back ahead. Doublelift looking solid at 2-1-1. Full kill participation. Everything except that first blood. He's been untouched otherwise. Lorlo hoping that he can continue to play with the advantage. He's going to walk into this freeze that Hanser had built. Mega Nara is going to be available. Lands a bit of a stun, some nice damage, but gets pushed into the wall, and Lorlo taking a whole heap of damage. But now Hanser's out of cooldown, so Lorlo can now start drain tanking this. But his W times out, meaning no healing was left. And now it's up to the response. Both junglers down here. Lorlo going to walk away.
Yeah, all of TSM actually coming down to the bot lane, so Lorlo gets out just in time. They trade the ultimates, no big deal, and Liquid is pushing heavily on the top side. They want to try to get a turret back, see if they can't even this gold up.
We'll see if they can do it, of course, pushing down hard, but Doublelift is already running over, so is Biofrost, and looks like they'll be there in time.
Yeah, more than enough time to get there and pick up that farm. So does start to slow down a little bit here as the team's kind of feeling each other out. Lots of scaling on both sides. Bjergsen has hit some pretty powerful points, though. Has the Proto Belt, has his Spirit Visage as well, so he's going to have massive amounts of healing. He can really kind of get into these team fights very easily, too, especially with the Stormraider Search. So he has the speed ups, he has the engage, and he go for it.
See if he can. Dardock again in a battle with Hanser. And looks like this Nara has really been able to keep control of his side of the map, at least well enough to not lose too much. Bot lane outer staying alive. TSM up 3 turrets to 2 because they had knocked down that mid lane earlier. Bjergsen has managed to keep Phoenix pushed in more often than not. And that's going to feel good, of course, for the Vladimir. His items are cheaper, so you kind of see him having 2 completed items, but the actual gold between Bjergsen and Phoenix is very close.
Yeah.
Nash's 2 quite expensive, of course.
A little bit of an edge as far as the global gold for Bjergsen, but nothing too big at all.
Absolutely not. 3,000, though, is a respectable lead for TSM. They've also got the in-combat Drake, so the pure stats are there for them as well. Dardock slowed down by the Riley's Nidalee trap. Now Sven running away. Looks like he's going to be just fine to do that.
And these two teams have just kind of been going back and forth so evenly. It does feel like TSM has some of the pressure advantage, though. They're controlling these waves very well. You see them making the first moves a lot of the time. And Bjergsen and Haunter down here on the tier 2, perhaps looking to set up a dive. I don't know if they know that Bjergsen is here. Will he go over the wall? Lorlo's going in.
Gonna fight Haunter, lands a stun, lands a fair bit of damage, but now he's tossed away his move block, so he's running out of health bars rapidly. Bjergsen, yeah, gotta come in there, make sure it happens. Haunter finds the stun, and that was priority right there. Liquid just did not respect the fact that teammates were roaming over. A nice kill for TSM, pushing themselves farther ahead.
They had no idea Bjergsen was there. Dardoch's looking to chase, though, but do they have the damage to actually clean anyone up? It doesn't look like it.
Well, Haunter is low on health, which doesn't really quite matter. Look at this, though. Mid lane still pressured. TSM completely out-rotating Liquid in the early game lead. The first 2 kills don't mean much anymore, as TSM have answered with complete map control.
It's 5K. Bjergsen gets his first kill assist there, getting involved finally, and he made the roam, and they just read Lorlo like a book. They know he had the CS advantage. They have Haunter push up. Bjergsen is right there to come in and clean it up, and Haunter landing the stuns. That's all they needed. Easy kill on Lorlo. And Haunter is actually the one up a level now and a couple CS.
And we're just seeing really aggressive builds now out of the carries of TSM. Doublelift actually going Static Shiv, the most aggressive of all the Zeal items for Sivir there. Svenskeren going towards Lichbane as his second non-enchant item there after the Rylays. Really wants the damage output there. Haunter's on tank duty. He's got the Randuins. He's got the Frozen Mallet. He was able to survive the matchup and then set up the rest of his teams. 2 kills on him. Looks pretty nice.
Yeah, he's actually up 500 gold too, and Sven has a very big gold lead. He's power farmed so well. He's always been in the right place at the right time. Helped to really shut down any lead that TL had built in the 2v2, and now he's looking very powerful himself, up 50 CS, 2,000 gold lead for Svenskeren in this jungle matchup.
So now how much more can TSM do? Almost 24 minutes into the game. A respectable 5 and change thousand gold lead. Sven wants the red buff steal away from Dardoch. Both junglers have their smites up. And here comes the play. It's time for Liquid to get their comeback in. A lot of slows coming in. And Lorlo, oh, he just one-shot Doublelift now into the back lane. He's looking for Svenskeren, who has built very squishy, keep in mind. So the chase is going to be there. A double kill for the Liquid top laner. And the chase down works for Phoenix. Liquid, 3 unanswered kills, and they're going to go Baron.
Lorlo came up huge there, but Bjergsen is still alive. Both the soul laners of TSM moving over. Still a good chance at a turnaround. Dardoch wants to engage.
I think Liquid have this one. Haunter having to run away. Randuin's on. Bjergsen to buy some time, but they're all going to survive this. And Lorlo stunned up. Haunter actually trades it back, but the smite is there. And would you believe it, TSM?
Nice ulti.
Making a lot happen. A knockback from Phoenix makes it a 1-for-1. Both top laners dead, but Bjergsen's still able to slink out. And to lose a 3-for-0 and stop Baron, really impressive. But now Bjergsen butting up more than he can chew, and it's going to be him for lunch. Liquid actually a delayed ace, only losing 1.
Great job by Liquid, exactly what they needed. They get a turnaround kill there. And finally, this is how it starts. Svenskeren getting very aggressive, but the collapse comes in so quickly. Phoenix there, they didn't expect it. Lorlo joins in, and Lorlo making the big play here, goes forward onto Doublelift, deletes him, and then the chase down onto Svenskeren. He got the reset because he killed off Doublelift with that Q. He's able to ward over, gets the vision, second kill for him. In the meantime, Biofrost goes down. TSM, though, at least was able to stop the Baron, but did give up a lot of kills.
And an important part of Lorlo's build, I really want to talk about this because I think it's very important. He actually did Q max second on the Aurelia. He maxed the W for the sustain and everything else, but the Q max second gives him the damage to reset up caster minions, gives him a significantly shorter cooldown for the mid-fight repositioning, and also the burst to allow him to one-shot Doublelift to get the reset and then re-chase on a Svenskeren with a third Q in that fight.
And even just for the 1v1 against the Gnar, I think it's intelligent because you're going to have trouble sticking on this guy, keeping up with him. So that really short cooldown, Bjergsen going to take some damage. Mid lane turret getting very low here.
Liquids. That's Liquids. The turret's now 3-4, a pretty close score. During the replay, TSM did manage to pick up a second Cloud Drake for themselves, or their first of the game, but the second Cloud Drake that had spawned. So something answered back, but Liquid not wanting to give away the pressure here. The gold fairly close. They've knocked down mid-outer. Haunter spotted on the bot side of the map. The Rage Bar is running out. He's got teleport, but he's going to be a mini Gnar teleporting across. But nice minion wave clear by Doublelift. Static Shift helping with that one.
And Haunter actually decided to stay and push another wave. He was basing, canceled right at the end of the base, and actually just came back to the wave, wants to push us in, make Lorlo respond. He's going to be down there, so Haunter can join up with his team, but both top laners have TP and will be able to respond.
And I think Lorlo now smashes this matchup. Blade of the Ruin King is now done, plus the Merc Treads for the CC reduction. I think Lorlo can really turn the screws to Haunter right now. Even though he is 2 levels down, Haunter's done a great job of getting XP.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Haunter also has a ton of armor at this point, so it's hard to even just kind of burst him down. Maybe you can win if he chooses to opt into that fight, but with the Frozen Mallet plus a lot of armor, you can always try to disengage. We'll see if Lorlo can make any of those outplays.
See if he's going to get it. There we go. The Azir Sun Disc falls down. A Haunter wants back in, but a nice shield from Matt gets them away. The budget Sivir ulti, as it were, and bot lane priority is now Liquids. Bjergsen sent to the top side to get top in their favor, as Baron Nashor is still up. And the recalls come in for most of these players in Liquid to reset. They're going to get their pockets lined first.
Zonia is being done for Bjergsen. That is big here too. That trifecta of items is going to make him so ridiculously tanky, hard to kill. You can rotate the Zonias with your pool and get extra spell rotations out over and over and over. It makes it so tough to kill this guy off.
And it's max cooldown reduction now for Bjergsen. All those items in inventory all add 10 CDR to him, and this is what you really want to be and to have when you're a Vladimir. Void Staff probably next with that blasting wand in the inventory. Liquid playing the ward control game. They got rid of those wards inside the Baron pit. You see Lorlo still threatening on a Haunter, but Haunter you can see 15.5 the level for him. Lorlo only 14 and change, so more than a full level of experience lead for Haunter's Gnar.
And that can be the advantage when your team is doing well on the rest of the map. Haunter doesn't always have to join the fights. He can kind of just stay in the lanes, push it out, farm, and Lorlo has to try to be the guy that his team can rely on to make these plays, to make the collapses and get the kills and carve out the advantages that way. And unfortunately for Lorlo, it has put him down XP-wise.
Well, we'll see if he can find the catch-up there. Going towards Frozen Heart as his next build. As the Glacial Shroud comes into that. Thorn Mail or Guardian Angel probably the next one in for Haunter to also make him a very tanky Gnar. Only a smattering of magic resist in his build. He still knows he has to survive what Lorlo's putting down, so the Spectre's Cowl all he really gets to survive Phoenix's Azir.
It is pretty tough for Lorlo entering these fights too getting any MR because Bjergsen's going to be doing a ton of damage if he ever gets tagged by Svenskeren. They have a massive amount of AP burst that can come out and just instantly pop this Aurelia, who is not tanky by any means.
He has neither any significant bonus health or significant magic resist. It's the phage from the Trinity Force for some health and the Mercury Treads. But Svenskeren and Bjergsen both do plenty of damage to threaten. So yes, difficult to navigate for Lorlo in the teammates. They need something split up where he's not getting sieged down by those mages. And if they can navigate, then yes, Lorlo can assassinate. 2 damage items on him. Certainly going to make him a threat for Doublelift. TSM, though, up in the top side. This turret's nearly dead already, and that's going to be it knocked down quickly. Lichbane helps.
They go for the fight, though. It looks like they maybe want to try to come around behind them.
Attempted a flank. Gnar has the full rage bar right now. Is this going to be the play? Haunter would teleport in and be Mega Gnar if he wants to. Let's see if they look for it. Aurelia going to walk up this, and here comes the teleport to keep the team alive. Inhibitor turret's already dead. TSM pushing around. Bjergsen already has popped his Hextech Proto Belt. Now here comes the play. Damage onto Bjergsen. Haunter ready to transform into Mega Gnar. Inhibitor is down. Now can they wait out Mega Gnar and get the fight afterwards? It's going to start ticking down. Liquid playing with their time, playing with their food. No, it's going to be Biofresh going in fine to the bot lane, but Matt's going to flash away safely. Dardak kiting away. A big Mega Gnar comes across, but here's Lorlo to the backside, but he can't find the damage, not just yet. He's going to get popped the double kill already for Bjergsen. Make that a third coming through for Doublelift. TSM are slaughtering in this fight. Finally a pickup now for Phoenix, but he's got to turn around. A 4 versus 2 makes Bjergsen turn into a pool of blood. He may be able to do it. They're all gonna flash the Q, not quite going to land. And Phoenix has to wait for another round of cooldowns. Haunter running quickly away, jumping back in, knocking up the Cloud Drake movement speed on both sides, but another boomerang slow is going to land, and TSM go +2 in that fight. Beautifully done, getting the inhibitor as well.
So close to being turned around there, though, by TL. If Phoenix could have got up, got a couple more kills, but TSM just played this brilliantly. They get past TL, they take down the inhibitor, and then the engage from Biofrost. Nicely done. Haunter tries to get in, follow it up. It's a little delayed because Dardak actually interrupted him. Matt doesn't quite go down, but it's the backline now. Bjergsen getting so much damage out there. Phoenix finally starting to get involved. Actually waits a long time to really start getting into the action here, and wants to have the chase down, has the Rylai's very close to taking out Bjergsen, and W comes out just in time.
And he had flash ult the whole fight as well. At no point did he really try to go for the dive in and really get that one to set up. Also, a point of quick contention as well. Lorlo was mid-Blade Surge on what would have been a lethal blow against Svenskard when he was killed. So half a second would have been all the difference. Now Lorlo is in a real bad spot. He is alone against all of TSM. An easy assassination. Bjergsen on a killing spree. 3-1-3 for this Vladimir. And TSM 7,000 gold up with equal kills. That is how much they're playing the map and playing the farm better.
Just looking so good, and it's top lane and hip down. They move straight to bot, get a pick, looking to extend the lead even further. And TSM are just seeming unstoppable these days. They want to go to Baron.
Like it. And yeah, we'll see if they can be stopped at Baron Nashor itself. 7,000 the lead. Bjergsen still split pushing with his summoner teleport available, so you know he can rejoin his team if a fight does come out. And it's Liquid who wants one. They find Haunter on the front side, double from the back. Locket shield comes in, a nice knockback by Phoenix to buy some time. Haunter's down to half HP, and it pulls in the teleport from Bjergsen. Dodging away from the Nidalee Javelin. Dardoch, though, gonna tunnel all the way back towards his base, and TL just delay the Baron.
They back off, but Bjergsen did take the tier 2, so they get something out of it.
And they might lose actually one of their Nexus turrets as well. Super Minions were on that one, nearly going down. Lorlo barely keeps it alive. Those do regen, but slowly. Once again, they re-engage. Bjergsen is diving, and they've already popped off Fabi. And now Dardoch dangerously low as well. Phoenix has a turret to run back to. The static ship coming across. Nearly going to get the kill. The ricochet coming across. Lorlo just can't do much of anything. Slowed down by Bjergsen. A double kill already for this TSM mid laner. Lorlo going to run out of health rapidly, and it's going to be him staying alive. No! He's going to drop. Phoenix trades one back on a double lift. You're seeing the mid laners get a lot done. 3 for 1 so far in this fight. It's going to be 4 pretty soon as Matt tries to run away. Heals up pretty nicely, though.
Nexus turret's actually going down, and they're pinging onto the base. Svenskaren's already in there. He is the Lich Bane, remember. They're just trying to stop the back. Svenskaren looking to end the game.
2 versus 4 with the inhibitor down. Supin is to help as well. This could be it right now. TSM hoping to close out the series against Liquid. Even though they're only up 2 kills, they are that far ahead from the rest of the plays they have made as a team. The best that North America has seen in a long time, as TSM walk away just with one more turret as their spoils of war.
Backing out, want to play it safe, make sure they can close this out, no problem, and really giving that respect over to Liquid. Going to be pinging onto the Baron, looking to secure their victory with this neutral objective.
Here we go, on to Baron. They begin. No vision at all for Liquid, no one on that side of the map really either. This shouldn't be almost at all contestable, but maybe they try. Liquid knows they need a minor miracle, and TSM say, hey, look, if you're going to contest, fine. Let's just buy. Let's heal up. 9,000 gold's a huge lead. They can close out next push anyway.
Yeah, and they have a lot of gold in their pockets after taking down all those turrets, so we'll be able to have some very big buys. You have 2,800 gold here on Bjergsen. And Bjergsen, look how fast he's able to take out Fabi. Right in on top of him, no chance when Biofrost comes in. Great collapse from them. Svenskaren jumping back out, stays alive, and Bjergsen in the backside, able to just soak up so much damage here and be so disruptive. There's just no way that TL can take down Bjergsen without a concerted effort, and their team is already so split. Doublelift, though, gets taken out by Phoenix. He's doing a good job surviving as best he possibly can and actually ends up getting out. So Phoenix playing these fights well. He's 3-0-4 and up CS in the mid lane. Has been playing admirably and is kind of the hope for TL right now.
He has, but the team fight power of TSM is just still too good. Biofrost has made some amazing engages on the Alistar. Haunter's found the flanks as well, and Bjergsen happy to dive in and secure all the kills. So the cohesion of TSM seemingly too much for Liquid to deal with. They cannot quite stand up to the might of North America's top team. And TSM say, you know what, we'll do one more Baron bait to try to close this out. They'll get rid of the wards. And as the top inhibitor has respawned, there's nothing too easy about the Liquid base.
Haunter is pushing in. There's only one inhibitor turret remaining, one Nexus turret remaining. The other 2 are wide open. So it's only going to take one big fight for TSM to close this one out.
And we'll see if that fight comes for them soon, or if Liquid can make the miracle defense and start turning the game back around. We have seen larger comebacks even this week in North America. There's always the chance that it happens. TSM very rarely are the team to make those kinds of mistakes to allow it. As Liquid are just playing defense, just farming up. The Void Staff's been done on Phoenix for a while. The death cap is not far away, so if he can find the money. Actually, he's almost at combined cost right now. He's very, very close to just finishing death cap. If he has the money, like, it should be on this wave. He needs to recall and buy. So that is a huge power spike to help Liquid win a team fight.
Death cap late game is massive. The passive AP you do gain in addition to the completion bonus you get is absolutely huge, and he's going to back right now. Should be able to complete that up if calculations are correct, but he is going to be very strong, and he has to be, because Fabi is just not going to be able to contribute as much as someone like Doublelift in these fights. With, you know, he's basically been outscaled.
In utility and in damage.
Yeah.
Only thing Doublelift doesn't quite have is safety, but even then, the threat of the Gnar, the Vlad, the Alistair still makes Fabi's life difficult. So here we go. This is the brightest point Azir could have in this game. These items. This is up to Phoenix to win the team fight, looking for a bit of damage. He's okay on this one. Still can regen up decently. TSM wearing 3 different colors of Drakes. Liquid only with Cloud themselves. Trying to play for Vision. Haunter's actually on the bot side of the map, but TSM know they have priority on the top side. There's only one Nexus turret, and so they're going to dictate the pace. Great shot calling, very crisp. Making sure Liquid must follow them from weird positioning. Walk through wards, walk through their own jungle, try to trail as TSM look to collapse down together.
It's basically exactly what they did last time to get that top inhibitor and the inhibitor turret. They're not able to fully commit to it. Felt a little bit nervous there, and you always have to be careful making those plays because you are corralling yourself. You have to leave an exit path for your escape.
Yeah, the TSM were able to do so. Matching the
Elder's
Cloud Drake
getting
movement speed. Yeah, the Elder Drake is up, but keep in mind it's very far away from the open inhibitors that Liquid need to defend. TSM are known for trading one objective for one objective and then just collapsing on the enemy team, getting them in the open field and going for the battle. So Liquid gonna look at Elder Dragon as their push in. They have Lorla with teleport away from the team. Here comes TSM looking to close it out right now. Here's the teleport flank. Here comes the play. Dardoch's gonna get away and Phoenix is gonna get flanked. He's gotta be real careful. He's gonna get jumped on and he's dead immediately. Did not respect the TSM engage. It's a 5v4 without Liquid's most dangerous member. There's no chance for Liquid to win this fight anymore. They've got to run and clear mid, but TSM can just win the game off this right now.
They can go straight to the open inhibs. No reason to deal with these turrets and go for the end. There's only one Nexus turret. It's not much protection at all for TL. They're going to have to come up huge if they want to hold on.
This is a slim to none chance right now. TSM to lock in their playoff bye with the win right here. There's the flashing game. They're looking for Doublelift, but there's just no damage output left. Fabi's already gone. Doublelift cutting away from Lorlo, gets the kill off anyway. Dardoch is the only one who stands between them and defeat, and not even him anymore. TSM gonna make it their 7th straight 2-0 match win. They secure the playoff bye. Beautiful.
Punching their ticket to the playoffs. TSM is on such a run lately, and Liquid coming into this, pegged by many as the 3rd best team in the league. TSM makes it look easy.
They really do. And both games actually looked quite a bit different. In game 1, they were trying to be lane dominant. They had that sweet triple kill early on in the game. They just snowballed off that. Okay, great to make that gank happen, but you know, congratulations, you got a 2,000 gold lead early, you snowballed that. Game 2, they were the one losing kills in the top lane, kills in the bottom lane, still managed to outmacro their opponents, make rotations happen, get around the map, and, well, again, they did a beautiful job at knocking down Liquid.
It feels like even with those disadvantages, even when they get outplayed individually, it just does not matter. They play so well as a team. Lorlo was doing incredibly in these 1v1 matchups against Haunter, and in the second game, that early 2v2 kill on Doublelift, you would think that would spell disaster in an already disadvantageous lane, but Svenskeren able to be up there helping his